I'm giving you the opportunity and invitation to book a call with me so you can figure out how our program can help you achieve your pregnancy and birth goals and your pregnancy and birth dreams. So book the call down below, down below. Oh, book the call, oh, book the call.
We are strong, building a legacy, now start your own. Straight to the top, we say number one. Motivated, dedicated, let's go.
Hey everyone, it's Legacy, the natural birth queen. I asked you guys on our community tab to let me know some videos or topics that you guys want me to cover. Janissa Pemberton said, if someone has had 5 C-sections done and there was no real serious medical issues from the first birth, is it possible to give birth naturally without complications from the previous C-sections? And so the answer is yes. Yes, she can have a VBAC after 5 C-sections, but will she? And so this video is going to help you guys develop the mindset that is required to have a vaginal birth after a C-section. Are you one of those people that really just struggle with seeing birth as a natural and normal process of life after having 1 or even more C-sections, like this person did? She had 5. Is she able to see birth as a natural and normal process of life still? We're going to be talking about the fear of not being able to have a VBAC and how you can overcome that so that you can achieve a vaginal birth after a C-section. So I asked many of you to request video topics. You guys can request any of them down below in the comment section. And this is one of the topics that you guys choose. So I believe that one of our main goals in birth is to be happy. That's truly what we all desire, right? Healthy baby, healthy mom, to be happy. Because of that, moms make birth choices for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's their values. Sometimes it's their preference. Sometimes it's their goals. Sometimes it's their influence, their norms, what's normal around them, their cultural expectations, past experiences like this one, having previous C-sections, or emotions. And so why would someone want a repeat C-section? Well, everything we do is for a reason. And the reason someone would want to have a repeat C-section is because of the outcome of that thing. Now, everyone's outcome may be different. For some, it's to have a safe delivery for mom and baby. If everything we do is for a reason, there must be some sort of payoff for having a C-section in their mind, because it's going to be so revealing. So some people may think, no, it's not because I have an outcome for this specific thing. It's not because I want to have a safe delivery for mom and baby. No, I didn't want to have a C-section. And there were specific circumstances or situations that caused me to have a C-section. It could have been multiple pregnancies. It could have been because I had a previous C-section, breech, large baby, failure to progress, health conditions, placenta previa, failed distress. This is just some of the reasons. Their OB, their nurse, their hospital, their husband, all these different things, right? So for example, let's just say this person's pregnant again and her previous birth was a C-section. In the beginning, her and her care provider, they were planning a vaginal birth. But towards the end of pregnancy, this often happens, her provider said, you have to schedule a planned C-section. So now there's a change of plans. So what does that mean, queens? What does that mean? What does it mean that her care provider said now she has to plan for a C-section? What does that mean? Well, it could mean a number of things. It could mean a number of things, but in and of itself, it means nothing. When a midwife told me I needed to schedule a C-section just in case with my second baby, I went on and had a natural home birth. Her saying that meant nothing. My clients who were told that they had to have repeat C-sections went on to have natural births. So their care providers saying that, it actually meant nothing. And we're gonna come back to this, but we're gonna dive a little bit even deeper. So the fact that someone says that you need to have a C-section, it can mean number of things. But again, in and of itself, it actually means nothing. But what happens is the mom, she attaches meaning to it by her thoughts and her belief system. So she maybe believes that VBAC carries a risk of uterine rupture. She maybe believes that having a vaginal birth after C-section is not safe. So she feels inclined to make a choice to say yes because she carries that fear. So she made that choice because of that belief. Wow, guys. Oh my goodness. Or it's because maybe she believes that repeat C-section is safer than a natural delivery, and that maybe VBAC is only suitable for certain women. Maybe this is another reason. Maybe in her thoughts and her beliefs, she grew up in an environment where a lot of people had C-sections. I've heard this so many times. I know many of you guys have probably heard this as well. Or she was born in the C-section. And so that is just her norm, right? And so the reason why I say that the fact that someone says you need to have a C-section in and of itself means nothing is because, queens, there are people who believe that a repeat C-section is better than a VBAC. There are providers who believe that a repeat C-section is a safer or better option than a VBAC or a home birth after C-section. So the reason why people saying that you need to have a C-section means nothing is because different people have different beliefs based on their life experiences and their conditioning. Different providers, not just people, different providers have different beliefs, policies, practices based on their life experiences, their conditioning, their education, and their training, queens. So here's the problem. Many people don't take the time to recognize what their beliefs are. What are your beliefs? What's her belief? They just think that whatever they believe, that's the way it is. This is the way the world is. That's the way everything should be. Have you ever heard someone say, oh yeah, I had to have a C-section because I have to. I have to. My previous birth was a C-section. They think that every birth is that way. And we never really question or ask ourselves, where is this belief coming from? Where is this belief coming from? Do I have to hold on to this belief, or could I let it go? What's the value in keeping this belief? And would there be any benefit to letting it go? Woo, this is powerful, queens. So let's say you really, you don't want to have another C-section. So you have it in your mind already. You don't want another C-section. You tell yourself you don't like it and you plan for a change. But during the process of planning your VBAC, you still experience the same emotions that led you to say yes in the first place. Woo! Even when someone else, not even just you, when someone else talks about having a VBAC, you still feel that way. There's still this feeling that just keeps coming back because that emotion is coming from your thoughts, your beliefs. So oftentimes we talk about the law of gravity on our channel, how upright birthing positions helps bring the baby down. So we're going to talk about another principle here, and that's the law of control. It refers to the idea that people have a certain level of control over their lives and experiences, and that they can take actions to influence their circumstances and outcomes. Let's talk about the law of choice. We always have a choice in how we respond to any situation. We say that to our kids all the time, right? And that our choices ultimately shape our experiences and outcomes in life. So you have a choice over the things that you can control. I have a choice over my thoughts. I have a choice over my emotions. I have a choice over my body. I can choose how I think. I can choose how I feel. And I can choose what I do with my birth. I can also change my thoughts and my beliefs if I desire to. Do you desire to change your thoughts? Do you desire to change your beliefs? But maybe you don't want to. Maybe you just have a belief that VBAC is not safe. And if that is what you want to believe, then no one can make you give up that belief. If that's what you want to believe, no one can make you give up that belief. So let's talk about another principle, and that's the law of accountability. The law of accountability, queens, and that's taking responsibilities for our actions and their consequences. You're not responsible for what other people say your pregnancy or birth should be. You are not responsible. You are not responsible for everything that happens in your pregnancy. But you are accountable for how you choose to respond. If I were to have a repeat C-section just because someone told me to, I am accountable for that. And I want to say this with so much gentle effect, queens, because you guys know I love you, and my goal is to really empower you. But I'm accountable for that because I'm choosing that. I'm choosing to hang on to those thoughts and beliefs. I'm accountable for the fact that I believe that a repeat C-section might be the better option for me. And I have to realize and understand that by hanging on to those beliefs, I'm also the one choosing to have another C-section. So at some level, the choice of having a C-section has to somehow be what I want. And if that's the case, then I just have to accept it and be okay with it. And try not to be a victim and blame others for a C-section, because it is our choice. And the reason why it's our choice is because you can decline a C-section. You can. And I know there are certain cases and certain scenarios, but for the most part, queens, you can decline a C-section. So let's talk about that. Can someone or a provider force you to have a C-section? Absolutely not. There is no medical provider on this planet that can force a patient to have a C-section without their consent. Informed consent means you have the right to be informed about the risk and the benefits of a C-section and to make your decision based on that information. And that is the law. So you have the right to say yes or no, and you have control over saying yes or no. So what if you planned a VBAC, you planned to have a VBAC at the hospital, but it ended in a C-section? Well, who made the decision to go to that hospital? You did. Who made the decision to go to a hospital where the C-section rate was 17 to 30%? You did. Who made the decision to go to a place that failed you before? Unfortunately, you did. The person who went there, who brought themselves there, it was their decision. So what if that person didn't know? What if they didn't know that that hospital had a high C-section rate or that history would repeat itself? Even if they didn't know that, they do know that there is things that can happen at a hospital that are outside of that person's control that can cause them to have a C-section. For example, the cascade of events that can lead to a C-section. Okay, my beautiful queens? So I'm not pointing fingers and saying, you did. This is, of course, just for the slide. So I know a lot of the queens watching this, I know you guys are beautiful, strong, empowering, and confident queens. I know that. Okay. So you have control over what you do, meaning you can say, I'm not going to go to the hospital. You can say, I'm going to go to the hospital, but I'm going to decline everything. I'm going to have a home birth or a birth center. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I don't have another C-section. So I will have a home birth. I will hire a doula. I will have a midwife that is known for VBAC. I will do whatever I need to do if that is that important to me. Okay. So the amazing thing is what you learned here, queens, is the principle of control. The principle of control is what's going to help that queen go from having 5 C-sections to finally having her natural VBAC. The principle of control is what can help queens have a VBAC by understanding that they are in control and no one can make you have a C-section if you don't want to. Whatever birth choice you have in your life that you don't like, you are choosing that. But you also have the power to let it go. You can do that by changing your thoughts and your beliefs about C-sections, or by changing your environment. So you don't put yourself in a situation where that outcome can happen again. If you don't want to change those beliefs, that's fine. Just enjoy the choices that you make, because there must be a reason that you're doing it, or else you'd be willing to let it go. So here's some actionable steps for you queens, for the ones who are wanting to have a VBAC, or for someone who wants to help someone have a VBAC. Discover what the payoff is. So you want to discover what the payoff is for having a C-section. For many, it's a healthy baby, healthy mom, maybe an easier delivery. Maybe some people might have a C-section to please others. The payoff can be different for everyone, but if you know why you're doing it and why you're saying yes to it, then you can find out if there's any other ways or any other alternatives to achieve that same result or payoff. So I encourage you to use what we talked about today and see if these tools can help you let go of some of the choices in your pregnancy and birth that bother you. And if you can achieve a greater level of happiness, which I do encourage you to do in your pregnancy and birth experience, because if I can do it, if my clients can do it, you can do it too. Now, if this works for you, comment your experiences down below. And remember, they may try and trick you into thinking that you don't have a natural ability to give birth, but they cannot take that natural ability away from you, because it is innate. It is within you. You were born with it, queen. You got this. Alrighty, my beautiful queens. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new to this channel, I want you to click that red juicy button down below. Down below, it says subscribe. It says subscribe. Also, we have an invitation down below where I can help you achieve your birth goals. If you're interested, click the link in the description down below to book a call to see if you qualify for the Natural Birth Queen program. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
We are strong, building a legacy, now start your own. Straight to the top, we say #1. Motivated, dedicated, let's go. We are